phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Maybe from Ogbomoso.
Okay.
Okay.
Ogbomoso.
Please go.
I just want to greet you good morning.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
and I
so
want
much.
to support what Obasanjo say about the security of Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you
God
so much.
will secure us in peace.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Biodo.
Yes.
Phone line is still open. 08055009850. It's the weekend edition. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Philip
Okay.
Caleb.
from Nigeria.
Okay. Nice to have you. Please go ahead.
It reported that Nigeria embassy in the mission in Indonesia was broken into.
By Nigerians.
Okay. Indonesia was broken into. Organization to be carried out before we take a decisive action against this authority of the system. So there's no adequate protection for our embassy. So that's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Caleb. That could break into an embassy.
I'm not talking about. I think embassies we are supposed to have.
They're supposed to be fortresses themselves. You know, I can't break into embassy. Hey, okay. We need to do something. No.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Tola and Dayo.
Good morning, ma.
It's a long time. Happy weekend.
Same to you, ma.
What I'm afraid of is this insecurity. Baba is making a great talk. I hope the government of Buhari, we are there strictly. Where there is no security, we will eventually disintegrate you. God bless us.
Amen. Thank you so much, Grandma. Really appreciate you.
Good weekend.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you, ma. I'm all the way from Ilorin, and that's a fact. If there's no security, I hope we don't go the way of disintegration. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is Olufemi from Oyo.
Oh, nice to have you, sir.
Thank you since all this.
Finally. You're welcome.
I want to say, why do all these rulers have solutions to the problem when they left office? They will not be providing solutions which they have opportunity of solving. They will not solve the problem until when they left office. They got definitely. Secondly, on the issue of the APC. Now, don't you know that is an idea that if there's no court case institution to the court, that any APC member will win. Because if the AGM is the one that sworn in the members of the caretaker, there's no case that can be instituted against APC. It is the final decision. It's already known. God help us.
Amen. Thank you so much. I think we said that off here. Before we came on here, that's it. Yeah, just joking. If you take any case to court, you're your own. Go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning, sir.
Hello, DMT.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. From Ogbomoso.
Nice to have you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
I think, in my own opinion, I think Oluyole issue we put an end to godfatherism. I think Oluyole has jumped into a moving train and he will pay for it. You will see this the God song. He will go to the poll and win the election. If Oluyole gradually goes to court on that issue, he will be expelled from the party, and that will be the end of his political career. Nobody is indispensable. Secondly, on the issue of restructuring, Obasanjo has said well, we need a sovereign national conference that all tribes will come together and decide the future of Nigeria on security, political ideology, etc. Thirdly, Selima Kende has done well by reopening school. The school have to start sometime. I don't know how long we are going to say. Let's give it a trial. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much. My namesake from Ogbomoso. Fumilola Adewale on Facebook saying, good morning, Mr. Dayan Tola. Happy weekend. Hope you guys are doing good. Yes, we have more strength in Jesus. All right. On the issue of reopening of schools, although it is limited to certain classes, but my advice is that each school, both private and public, should provide testing gadgets if possible, because we don't know whose parents of these students might have been a victim of this pandemic, even the students themselves. That's the truth. On the issues of restructuring, I think that will be the lasting solution for Nigeria, as Baba have said. I rest my case for now. From Ogbomoso. Agbomojo Oloa from Ogbomoso said, good morning. Yeah, Baba Obasanjo speak at last. Enu agba ni obi tin yan. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I just want to greet you. Good morning, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Your name and location, sir?
My name is Musa Alaye from Iwo.
Nice to have you.
Ocean State.
So I want to support Mr. President Olusegun Obasanjo.
Okay.
But Nigeria nowadays, either is truth. That's the only thing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Musa from Iwo. We really appreciate it. The phone line is still open. You can continue to drop your comments. I'll try to shift to Twitter any moment from now.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir.
This is Lukman from Oluyole.
Okay, Lukman from Oluyole. All right,
Yes,
please go ahead.
I want to comment on the reopening of school of Oluyole State.
Please go ahead.
I just want to advise the government of Oluyole State to make sure that the school has necessary materials, like running of water, and even that the students should follow all the protocols and the guidelines in the school.
All right, thank you so much.
Avoid the uncontrollable outbreak.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Lukman from Milero. We really appreciate it. Ajagbe Gabriel Shegun at Shegun Ajagbe on Twitter is saying, well done, Dayan Tola, thank you. Dr. Ayobami Awuni at Dr. Ayo Awuni is saying, it would be nice to test teachers and students before being admitted back to school. Movements of people like artisans, food vendors should be limited, and hours spent at school should be limited. Many carriers are asymptomatic. I wish your government success. From Ibadan. Thank you, Dr. Awuni.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
You're on. Hello. Please call us back. Please do well to call us back. Oluyole Yadeleke Sheyetronics on Facebook. I'm back on Facebook. Good morning, dear auntie. On the issue of school reopening, I suggest government should copy the idea of EPL players. Okay. See, football lovers, bring in football. All right. I want to believe each player is given a clean bill of health regarding COVID-19 before stepping on that field. Each student should be tested before getting into class because no one is sure of their parent status. This means each school prior to reopening should have means of testing each student in primary 6, GS3 and SS3 might take. Thank you so much. I hope we have the capacity to do that. Hello, good morning, sir.
Oh, Mr.
Good morning, sir. Mr. Falodun, we can't hear you clearly. We're struggling to hear you, sir. Morning, sir.
I will not be surprised according to the social media. It's not doing it. And building a picture of this security crisis, that is the whole problem. But it's very unfortunate that we are COVID-19. We are not because of COVID-19. They are not because of employment. They are not because of infrastructure in this country. They are fighting for power. It's very unfortunate. This political crisis. Not take Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Faladu. Even though we struggled to hear you, so fortunate there. Fabi Folashade JP on Facebook, say good morning, dear auntie. God will strengthen you every day with the issue of school reopening. Government should provide testing kits for all school. God bless your state. We need something that does not require people going to the lab to be able to test students. That's the truth. Good morning, Mr. Dayan Tola. That's Olaji Ajagbe. On the issue of reopening of school, your state will be needs to be very careful. From Ogbomoso, rest in peace to Senator Jimobi. Thank you. Sheyi Ogunjimi, saying one major problem bedeviling our nation is the fact that we have so many recycled and redundant politicians doing nothing with bogus electioneering campaigns leading to siphoning of our commonwealth. God will heal our land. From Ogbomosho. Thank you so much. The phone line is still open. We can take a couple more calls. Someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Dayo and Tola.
Good morning,
sir.
God bless Nigeria.
Amen.
Amen.
Abdulaziz Mayowa from Mobank of Ibadan.
Nice to have you. Please go ahead.
I want to commiserate with the family of Ajimobi, who has lost a great one, indeed a great hero in the politics of Nigeria. I want to commiserate with the political classes and the political economy in this our country and the political economy at the world at large. All over our politics, Ajimobi.
Amen.
Secondly, as regards Baba Obasanjo's comments, I think we shouldn't throw away whatever Baba said. We may not be opportune to carry it out when he was in the height of the administration, but we should consider looking at it now. Lastly, as far as COVID-19 is concerned, I think COVID-19 has come to stay. I don't think we can do anything about pushing or dragging it away. We should look at growing our homegrown situation, meditation, traditional ceremonies to fight this COVID-19. Not that we will keep staying and keep staying and keep staying at home. Verily, a time will come that every one of us will say, whatever will happen, will happen. Let us fight it ourselves, whether by tradition or by habit. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Abdulaziz from Bank Olodo. You know, I was discussing with somebody and I said, with one of our very own, who was formerly in UI now in Redeemers University, who came out with a rapid testing. I'm thinking the state government might want to partner with him and come up with that testing kit that anybody can quickly use, cost less than $1. It might just be the icing on the cake and just the solution there, so that you gather students, you can quickly test them. You can tell private schools, deploy for public schools, tell private schools, test your students before they enter the class, and we'll be fine. That just might be the way forward. Mary is here. I can see her hand in the hair. Okay, that's the show for today. Sorry we can't take any more calls. Mary is here. Are you a Liverpool fan?
World Cup. We're going to talk about that one and also fixtures for the weekend. We'll be right back. Oh, definitely right on time. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Tidbits right here on your number one dial, Oluyole 98.5 FM. A whole lot to go down this morning. But first, we're saying a huge welcome to everyone listening to all from every part of the world on Agility FM 92.1, Okiogun FM 96.3, on our BCS, www.bcs.tv/listen. That's the website, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We're saying welcome to the show. Promises to be exciting, promises to be interesting this morning. The usual question, are you ready? Because definitely the First Lady is ready. My name is Mary Akinshola. Let's get straight to business. Okay, we started from the world of golf, where the PGA Tour has now confirmed that the Travelers Championship will go ahead as scheduled, despite a growing number of positive coronavirus tests. The PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan addressed the media following 3 positive tests ahead of this week's event at TPC River Highlands, with further adjustments set to be made to the health and safety protocols. Now, Nick Waxney became the first PGA Tour player to test positive for the COVID-19 out of the second round of the RBC Heritage. That was on Thursday, before Cameron Champ also withdrew from this week's event after receiving a positive test during the pre-tournament screening. Well, this is still talking about how coronavirus has been shaping the world of sports so far. Yes, gradually so many people are returning to the games they love. But still, while we're doing all of this, we definitely have to be careful. We need to make sure that all the guidelines are being adhered to. And if, unfortunately, we find ourselves with the virus, self-isolate and let's just take all the necessary precautions, necessary treatments, and hopefully everything will definitely be fine. Well, away from there, straight to the world of Formula One now, where Chase Carey, that's talking about the F1 chairman, he has now donated $1 million now to the fight for diversity in the F1 community. Now, as it stands now, yes, Chase Carey has donated money. Everyone is donating money. Everyone is coming to talk and all of that. But the big question still remains, how exactly will this diversity that they are saying they need in the F1, how exactly will this diversity be coming in? I think there are a whole lot of opinions on this thing. Now, questions remain. Some people would say, is it a must for a black man to be a part of a community before it is accepted by the world? How exactly has the F1 been shutting the doors to the black people? Some people will say, oh, the F1 is racist and all of that. Now, we have a whole lot of these opinions coming together. We need to bring them together. We need to make sure that at the end of the day, we are on the same page. Now, that is exactly the reason why the F1 Foundation, the F1 launched the Diversity Foundation to make sure that whatever they do at this point in time, they're careful to see that racism is not going to be a huge factor going forward in how the F1 actually does all of its business. Our Lewis Hamilton, do not forget, is the only BAME driver there at the moment. People are looking to him to make sure that all those changes will definitely happen. Talking about races, don't forget that July 3rd to July 5th, the first race of the year will be happening. That will be in Spielberg, Austria. And now everyone is looking forward to that one. What Ferrari will be bringing to the table. Sebastian Vettel is going to be in his last year for Ferrari. How he's going to turn out, if all the bad blood between him and Charles Leclerc before the end of last season, if that bad blood is still there, we'll get to know this time around. Well, away from other sports now, straight to football. Well, now located in the capital city of Maseru, football team Kick for Life FC have announced that they will be the first top flight club in the world to pay the same to their men's and women's teams. Now, joint CEO and co-founder Steve Fleming told newsmen that he believes there's an urgency for teams to state that they believe in equality of men and women on the pitch and off it, as it sends out a powerful message. Now, he added that in his opinion, if Kick for Life in Lesotho can take this step in the Premier League, then it can be done elsewhere in the world and also change football for the better. Well, do not forget that discussions around pay disparity in football has been hotly debated in recent times, with public outcry led by the U.S. women's national team and Norway and also Olympic Lyon star Ada Hegerberg. According to the 2016 global study published by Newsmen, now 83% of sports now pay men and women equal prize money. However, top sports such as football, cricket and golf still makes up the remaining 17% that records pay gaps. I think at the end of the day, this is definitely a big step for those who are looking towards fighting for equality in pay for both men and women. Kick for Life in Lesotho has started it already. Don't forget that even here in Nigeria, in Edo State now, Bendel Insurance have talked about the fact that both their men and their women will be taking the same pay at the end of the week. Edo Queens and Bendel Insurance back in 2016, Edo State government did make that proclamation. At the end of the day, still boils down to how exactly have they been able to live up to the billing. We'll get to know. So So yesterday on Sports Update, the question, the discussion was centered around what exactly do we do to the NPFL? Good luck. How exactly do we move forward for the 2019-2020 NPFL season? Do not forget that CAF has already set a deadline for teams to submit the teams that will be coming for the CAF Champions League and also the CAF Confederations Cup. And at the end of the day, the LMC had no choice but to tell the clubs to vote. Now, after all of those voting, Plateau United ended up on top of the table, followed closely by Enyimba, then Rivers United. Now, those three teams, according to the voting, those three teams are the ones that will be representing Nigeria on the continent. Now, the little issue in the situation is when exactly will it be ratified by the NFF and also the Sports Ministry. Basically, that is what everyone is waiting for. When the Sports Ministry says, oh, you people can go ahead and do this thing, and the NFF also says, oh, you people can go ahead and do this thing, then they can send the name straight to CAF and then get the job done. Talking about CAF now, on the 30th of June, now CAF will be having an extraordinary General Assembly where they will be discussing a whole lot of issues ranging from what to do with the September international break, and also good news for women football as CAF is already looking to beginning the Women's Champions League. Now, it's going to go a long way in improving the quality of women football in Africa. We will get to also see what exactly happens about that one on the 30th of June. But still talking about the NPFL, good luck now. Yesterday afternoon, we had journalists join us from all over the world, and they gave their opinions about what to do to the league. Now, the big question as it stands, last night I saw a release from 3SE where they gave submission that in their opinion they feel that there should be playoffs to determine who goes to the NPFL next season. Now, the issue with this submission for so many people is the fact that at this point in time, they are saying PPG. Let me put it this way. Now, some people are saying if you say we should use PPG for, that's points per game system to determine who goes to the continent, why shouldn't we also use this points per game to determine who goes on relegation? Of course, so many quarters are saying among the when the votes were casted by the 20 clubs in the NPFL, 17 clubs voted that PPG should be used. There should be no relegation. There should be no promotion from the NNL. That is what they said. Rangers International voted that there should be a playoff, there should be relegation and all of that. Two clubs also abstained from voting. That's Lobby Stars and Aqua United. But as it stands now, 3SC of Ibadan is saying that why don't the LMC also use PPG for relegation? Then they should come to the NNL, organize a playoff, and then everyone from there, everyone can actually move on. Clubs can then get promoted into the NPFL. At the end of the day, the question for so many quarters about all of this process is when you look at the NPFL has played more than half of its games, but the NNL has not played more than half of its games. So how exactly do they want to use the system? Is it all the clubs in the NNL that is going to agree that they should play this playoffs? So there are a whole lot of questions out there. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks for local football in Nigeria, but we will keep you abreast of these issues as the results keep rolling in. Okay, straight away now to FIFA, where FIFA is to make available $1.5 billion in grants and loan as a relief fund to help associations impacted by the coronavirus. This is according to the World Football Governing Body. Now, Gianni Infantino, who is the FIFA president, said that the relief fund had been unanimously approved by the members of its council, and also insisted that there will be strict controls on how the money is spent. Now, all 211 member associations will be entitled to a basic solidarity grant of $1 million each, as well as $500,000, which must be invested in women's football. In addition, member associations can also apply for a COVID-19 relief loan, which is worth 35% of their revenue, up to a maximum of $5 million each. Now, continental governing bodies will get $2 million as a relief grant and can also apply for an extra $4 million relief loan. Now, Infantino promised strict controls on the use of these funds with audits, and he also said that there will be very clear conditions on how those loans will be repaid. Now, FIFA is financing the enormous relief fund by dipping into its reserves with 328 million covering grants and 556 million for loans. Well, definitely you can take it away from how FIFA has been able to stand up as the big brother for most of football generally, member associations, right in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. There has been lots of cuts here and there, and FIFA is trying to make available this money to help them mitigate the effects of the COVID-19. Okay, straight up now to the English Premier League, where we start off with West Ham United, who have confirmed that Pablo Zabaleta and Carlos Sanchez will leave the club at the end of the month. Now, young defender Jeremy Ngakia also will depart after rejecting what the club described as a significant offer. Well, in a statement released earlier yesterday by West Ham United, they announced that in line with their structure and policy, Ngakia was offered significantly improved terms to reward his breakthrough into the first team squad last year, along with a further contractual enhancements linked to his future progress and success. However, the player and also his representatives declined to accept any of the offers and also turned down a short-term extension until the end of the current season. So, as it stands, by the end of the month, Jeremy Ngakia is going to be free. He's going to be able to leave West Ham for wherever he decides to go to. Now, Pablo Zabaleta and also Carlos Sanchez will be going. Still talking about transfers in the news this morning. They say Inter Milan are almost done with the deal to bring in Achraf Hakimi into the Inter Milan squad. We'll get to see how that one also turns out. Well, Chelsea have also announced that Pedro Rodriguez will be moving to AS Roma at the end of the season. Also in the papers yesterday, it's been reported now that Matteo Guendouzi, the young star for Arsenal, he has said that he is open to leaving the Emirates at the end of the season. And already there have been offers coming in now. As for Arsenal fans, you begin to ask the question, should they be taking this money? Should they sell Guendouzi at this point in time? Definitely a lot of different opinions as far as that one is concerned. Well, still staying at the Emirates, we've got this not so good news coming in as Arsenal have confirmed that forward Gabriel Martinelli will miss the remainder of the season after undergoing surgery on his knee injury. Now, the 19-year-old has enjoyed an impressive first season in England, having joined the Gunners from Ituano, who play in the lower leagues in Brazilian football. It was announced on Tuesday that a training ground injury had ruled out Martinelli out of Thursday's Premier League winner Southampton, but the club have also said that he faces a prolonged period on the sidelines. As part of their team news update, they described Martinelli's injury as a left knee sustained injury during training, and a successful arthroscopic procedure has been undertaken to repair a lesion in the cartilage of the left knee, and he will not be available for the current schedule of the remaining 2019-2020 matches. Now, Gabriel Martinelli has scored 10 goals this season for Arsenal. Only Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has scored more, and he has also proved to be a rare bright spark during an inconsistent campaign for the Gunners, which also saw Mary sacked as head coach and replaced by Mikel Arteta. No, Martinelli would not be able to. It would not be available for the quarterfinal clash against Sheffield United tomorrow. Also, David Luiz will not be available, having served a 2-match ban for his red card in the defeat at Manchester City. So still staying with the English Premier League, still staying with England now. There will be no English Premier League for this weekend. All we will be having will be the FA Cup, and that will be starting off today. That will be when Norwich City, they will be a Carrow this time playing host to Manchester United. Manchester United will be looking to get a chance in the semi-finals to see how that one will turn out. Hopefully, Odion Igalo will be a part of proceedings for today. Then tomorrow, Sunday, Sheffield United, they will be home this time to Arsenal. Leicester City will be at the King's Power Stadium to Chelsea. Newcastle and Manchester City also will be trying to see who gives the way for a chance in the semi-finals. After that, we will get to see what the semi-final pairings will look like as it stands. Interesting couple of days right there in England as all of this FA Cup matches keep going. Still talking England now, the English Premier League champions Liverpool, as of yesterday, their fans are still converging right there in the streets in Liverpool. Lots and lots of arrests have been made after the mayor of Liverpool told them to go home, but overcome with joy after winning the Premier League for the first time in 30 years, the fans refused to go home, and some of them were arrested at the end of the day. Still, even at this point in time, so most of them are still right there on the streets of Liverpool celebrating that huge win that was handed to them after Chelsea defeated Manchester City. That was back on Thursday. Well, straight away now from England straight to Spain, where action started there last night. Full match day 31 in the Spanish La Liga. Sevilla and Real Valladolid are settled for a 1-0 draw. Today, Saturday, Athletic Bilbao will be home to Mallorca. Celta Vigo will be playing host to Barcelona. Osasuna also will be up against Leganes. Atletico Madrid will be looking to consolidate their sport. Talking about continental football, when they get visited now by Deportivo Alaves. Tomorrow, Sunday, it's going to be Levante up against Real Betis. Villarreal will be playing host to Valencia. Valencia is still smarting from that loss to Alba on Thursday. Villarreal will be hoping that assistant Samuel Chukwueze will be able to get enough playing time, as that has been the case for him since joining Villarreal. Not too much playing time, and so many people say they want to this youngster get back into action. Well, Granada will be up against Alba, while Espanyol 20th place will be up against Real Madrid. As far as the table is concerned, at the Spanish La Liga, Real Madrid is still on top, but this time on goals different, closely followed by Barcelona, 68 points each. This weekend, Barcelona will be playing against Celta Vigo. Real Madrid will be playing against Espanyol. Probably it's going to be about who scores more goals, if the both of them are able to manage a win at the end of the day. But finally, on Sports Hit Business, beautiful Saturday morning, straight to the Italian Serie A. Match day 28 started last night as Juventus defeated Lecce by 4-1. Higuain, Dybala, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Matthias de Ligt. Those four men definitely got their names on the score sheet. Cristiano Ronaldo also had 2 assists to his name yesterday. Maybe we can now say that it is back to winning ways for Juventus. They will probably be able to hold off Lazio at the end of the day. Do not forget the defeat at Atalanta at Lazio. That one was what gave Juventus breathing space as far as the top of the table is concerned. Atalanta broke Lazio's 21-match unbeaten run that was back on Thursday for them. So it's huge, it's big for Lazio at this point in time. They would be facing off against Fiorentina to see if they can still get back into the game. Other matches that will be happening in the Italian Serie A today, Saturday, Brescia will be up against Genoa, Cagliari against Torino, and also the game between Lazio and Fiorentina. Well, tomorrow afternoon by 3 p.m, the question we will still be asking is further talks about the NPFL 2019-2020 season. Good luck. But this time we will be focusing on the NNL. What exactly should we be doing about the NNL at this point in time? At 3 p.m. tomorrow, we'll get to talk about it in full. And also we will take a look at some of the fixtures we have for the English Premier League, the Spanish La Liga, the Italian Serie A, and also the German Bundesliga. Do not forget that coronavirus is still out there, still rampaging. Please observe all the safety guidelines that have been put in place. Do not lose your guard at this point in time. Cases are still rising daily. Also, if you know someone who also has the virus, please do not stigmatize. Also very, very important at this point in time. Time to go on the show this morning. Special thanks to my audio assistant and also everyone who was a part of the show today. Those who listen to us from Agility FM 92.1, OK, FM 96.3 on the website, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We're saying goodbye. See you tomorrow by 3 p.m. Bye for now.